Today on National Geographic, we will be exploring the past of our closely related cousins,
the Neanderthals, also known as Homo neanderthalensis.
I thought it was Homo neanderthals.
Look like a TH? Although it's spelled with a TH, because the first Neanderthal fossil was discovered in Germany, the pronunciation results in the H being dropped, so it's just pronounced TAL, thus Neanderthal. Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, Neanderthals began evolving after breaking off from a common ancestor shared with humans about 400,000 years ago.
Their peak existence was 200,000 to 30,000 years ago.
You good?
Yep.
Okay, today we are at a cave site in the middle of Europe.
To be specific, we are in Germany at the Neander Valley, the site where the first Neanderthal fossil was discovered, hence giving our human ancestor its name, the Neanderthal.
It's really cold today, and well, this climate was very similar to the Neanderthals' natural habitat.
Yes, it was this cold climate that led the Neanderthals to develop their unique appearance to help them withstand this climate and all the hardships that came along with it. Let's take a look around.
Oh look! A real live Neanderthal! For thousands of years, they coexisted with modern humans and possibly interbred. After migrating out of Africa nearly 400,000 years ago, Neanderthals primarily existed in Eurasia and the Middle East.
They also extended as far as southwestern and central Asia, and fossils have been found all across Europe and Asia. These regions in Europe and Asia were characterized by a cold climate, and oftentimes it got very severe and difficult for survival. And for this reason,
Their living conditions are centered around a hearth used for cooking and warmth. And because of this, the Neanderthals were able to harness fire, which is an essential aspect to their survival.
and it's a good thing they figured out how to do that, or else they would have frozen to death.
They also used fire to protect themselves from predators.
Neanderthals were primarily carnivorous, which has been shown by chemical analysis. They hunted big game and supplemented their diet with some vegetable and plant foods. Neanderthals in the Mediterranean regions exploited marine resources, such as shellfish, for food.
By the way, difficulty of obtaining food in the climate may have led to cannibalism.
How innovative!
Neanderthals hunted in groups for large animals to eat.
They lived in nuclear families and had close-knit communities.
I'm starting.
Go. Neanderthals made flint and stone tools, which they used for activities such as hunting and sewing.
They also made spear points with stone hammers, often gluing their tools with resin or tar and binding them with plant fibers, leather, or sinew. Their tool industry is known as the Mousterian tool industry, characterized by sophisticated flake tools.
They used innovative techniques to fashion tools from a single stone, differing from the previous core tool techniques of their ancestors such as the Homo erectus.
Yeah.
These tools resemble those used by modern humans, and they indicate more interactions and trading between our species and Homo neanderthalensis.
An example of some of the tools that the Neanderthals used includes chopping tools, flake blade core, notched scrapers, hand axes, scrapers, blades, and end scrapers.
Evidence has shown that Neanderthals likely practiced some form of religion.
They were the first primates to mark graves with offerings such as flowers. There are multiple grave sites where fossils have been found. They used tools such as needles to make garments, and they were the first in the Homo genus to wear clothes.
Several artifacts pointing to Neanderthal art have been found in Europe. A pendant was found in the Auxerre in France, and shells colored with orange pigment were found in Spain.
Neanderthals had a large central facial area that held angled cheekbones and a large nose. This nose was especially important to survival because it was adapted to humid, warm, or arid air. Imagine a nose that helps you to adapt to your environment. Neanderthals were short, stocky, and muscular, which helped with the cold environment in which they lived. Males that have been found are typically around 168 centimeters, while females are a little shorter at around 156 centimeters. Neanderthals were very intelligent due to their large brains. These large brains were also an effect of the environment because the size paralleled their large bodies, which, as we said earlier, was a way to cope with the extremely cold temperatures. Their brains were around the same size, or possibly even larger than those of modern humans. Their brains, because of their size, had a larger capacity to develop and understand a language. Neanderthals had long and low rounded skulls with a bulge in the back, known as the occipital and a depression known as the suprailiac fossa, which was useful for the attachment of strong neck muscles. To have those strong neck muscles, they had a thick brow ridge rounded into a relatively flat, receding forehead. Nose and eye sockets typically projected forward, and, like most of the other features of Neanderthals, were very large and round. The nose, in addition to projecting out, was large and broad. Love that nose. Again, Neanderthals, they were very large and thick overall. We've said that several times. So they were very muscular and also had thick limb bones and large joints. They had short shin bones and forearms that indicate that while they were large muscularly, they were in fact short. So muscular but short, short and stocky, which was, as we have said, an effect of the cold climate. The pelvis was wider than that in Homo sapiens, which affected their posture. Their teeth and their jaws were also much bigger and stronger than those of modern humans. Their jaws contained a gap behind the wisdom teeth called the retromolar space. Additionally, the jawbones were flat and lacked a protruding bone.
Although Neanderthals are now extinct, it is impossible to ignore the many similarities between their ancient communities and our modern ones. Humans are constantly evolving, but why did we, Homo sapiens, modern humans, outlive our Neanderthal cousins?
Our DNA only differs by a 0.12%, and we look and act very similarly. Homo sapiens may have had the evolutionary advantage over Homo neanderthals 30,000 years ago, but are we really that different? You came in from the side of Neanderthal. Are you really?
That tree is good, just do that.
Okay,
Okay, ready? Oh, I've been filming. Okay, so